And we are back with more Elden Ring. Last time we left off, we're exploring the DLC. We've explored... Boy, what's the name of that settlement? Hilderat? It's a settlement around the Tower of Shadows, but we have since then headed to the east, then north, and we have pathways available to us to the west, north, and east. So the question now basically is where we go. Also, yeah, man, my mic has been kind of on the fritz as of late. Like, some of the audio's been a bit crackly. Hopefully this isn't. But I am trying out right now a slightly older mic headset I have. I don't have the funds to invest in a new mic. And I've not had funds in a while. That's been an ongoing thing since the channel's founding of like, I need to have funding to do some stuff with checking out different mic setups and what have you. But alas, it is what it is. Point being, hopefully this sounds a bit better than the past... Well, the recording before I think last recording is a bit better than that. There might be a few spots, but again, it's been so kind of up and down. Not quite fully sure on what's what, though. Yes. And last time we left off, we had basically the Great Katana upgraded. Okay, we don't have a lot of runes. But yeah, one thing I kind of wanted to do was I did want to try out basically the perfume bottle weapons. The only issue is that the one I don't want to use takes somber smithing stones, which I believe we can buy more somber smithing stone levels than we can regular stuff right now. Although, yeah, this does physical damage. Interesting. Oh. And I mean, quite frankly, I was kind of debating whether it would be in the right hand or left hand. But I was thinking, yeah, let's hop down over here. Yeah, my logic was something like swap out the Castus, however it's pronounced. And you know what, let's put the poison on there for right now. It could be like swing, swing. Oh, wrong one. I forgot that you can't do the strong attack when it's on your left hand, unless you... I kinda wish there was a better way to get a feel for how far-reaching it is. That is pretty nice having it be a little bit of somewhat AoE there. And the ability to poison ourselves and anyone near us. Although that was kind of one of the things I was thinking about, was kind of like... We have it in the offhand. Oh. Do the ability. Kind of clear it, because I mean, it's definitely a stronger poison than some of the other like poison application methods that we have. I believe that some enemies are kind of like they have a built-in, slowly building like immune response to the poison. I'm not totally certain. I mean, if I were to basically swap things around, I mean, there's always a thing of like, you know, spell on the offhand. I'm trying to think. Wait, we stopped doing that because then we can't basically block and do spellcraft. I mean, doing that already, though, is kind of tricky at times. There, before I start thinking too deeply here, how many different smithing stone levels do we have right now? I get the feeling that the DLC is probably not going to unlock any more for us. Oof. There has to be something that we missed in the base game. Like, the fact we can take these up to plus 18, but we can only take up the somber stuff to 4? So I guess that also gives us the option here to like... Da-da-da-da-da-da-dun. Drink again. Huh. Interesting that... Oh. Huh. I guess you can't do aerial attacks with your left-hand weapon. I don't think I've ever realized that before. There's also the argument to be made that maybe basically Great Katana goes in the offhand, because I could see us using this with a two-hander only. Not that the ever has really played out nicely before, but you know, there's an idea there. Alright, perfume bottle. Don't. And then... Where are you? Giant heavy katana. I love being able to do this. As I've kind of mentioned before, it was my favorite move in Sekiro. Just bump, bump, bump. Bop, bop, and then bop, bop, bop. It is a bit funny, though, with this mask, where it really just seems like it's a sword coming out of the head. But alright. Wait, this is like... I just realized I was also down there to test out the fire. Yeah, I feel like poison would probably be better because it's physical damage. Many, many thoughts. I mean, I guess technically. But let's see here. Alright. So about Fire Spark. Well, real quick, I just want to reconfirm, because we checked this last time. That is, what different Ashes of War can be applied to the Fire one. Yeah, because we have like the Bloodhound step, we have the ability basically to, you know, Raptor the Mist it. Could even just do a standard kick. Like a Storm Stomp. I was a bit curious though. Okay, yeah, you can't really change the affinities all that much. Remove these Ashes of War from Club and apply them. Oh yeah, wow, that takes me back. The weapon that we started the game with. I'm a bit curious. How many somber smithing stones do we currently have? I guess it's actually easier to look over here. Somber, somber, somber. Wait, I don't even know if there'd be... There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, we can upgrade it pretty heavily.
Well, I took you for no matter it's all out, you're up.
I mean, I say that, but we actually probably don't have the runes to upgrade it all the way. Let's see. And at least up to 4 is perfectly fine. And then... I mean, out of 17, and it only takes 1 per upgrade, I don't think we're going to find that many more, and we'll probably be able to find at some point more? Maybe? Roll the dice here. Because I'm thinking maybe at least up to, like, 8. Okay. Yeah, let's sell a tiny bit of ruins here. Yeah, maybe just 1 of these. So, 7. I'm just kind of like, ugh, only Only 8 of these things. We'll give it a try with this for now. Not ideal, but some of the enemies in the DLC aren't that horrible. So, okay. Shadow Realm map. Yeah, and so our different paths right now that we have are heading down this path and kind of checking out, like, some of these parts here that kind of hug the wall. And I mean, this is pretty deep, but, like, there might be a way down. And then heading north here. And there's also basically heading across the bridge, which seems to be the intended path, which takes us to some sort of castle or fortification. But I think we can start with the Fog Rift Catacombs. I wonder what a power block attack looks like with the perfume bottles. Alright, let's go ahead. Lantern on. Not seeing any secrets up there, but I'm going to recall the elevator for when the time comes. Okay, not seeing any secrets. What the? It's interesting that actually does kind of recoil damage on them. But that's one reason I kind of want it to be physical damage, since physical seems to recoil that more. Alright, Grave Glover 1. Aha, okay. This is tough. I'm pretty certain where the floor isn't bloody is safe. I'll put that to the test here. Alright, that was wrong. Okay, so it doesn't cover the entire area, though. Alright, Grave Glovewort 5. Okay, can't crit hit them. Whoa. It does seem like poison's probably not a great use case against stone statues. I mean, it's working, though. But alright, let's go ahead... try out our big old katana here. Like, might as well get some blocking here. Ooh. Huh. It looks like a straight-up wizard man, rather than like a stone-masked wizard man. Alright, cool. Wasn't able to... Wait. I'm trying now to recall if you can get crits in with two-handed weapons. I think you can. Like, hammers can do that. Okay, yellow Fulgur Bloom. Wasn't regular Fulgur Bloom yellow? Blossoms in the realm of shadows, underground grave sites, and places struck by lightning. Blossoms... Alright, all that looks the same. Oh, also... Oh yeah, we didn't read the Gravebird bracelets. Stone bracelets with a tinge of green. One of a set of armor pieces cast in the image of the Gravebird. Gravebird are ancient golems, created to guard spirit graves built where all manners of death ultimately drift. Which I'm pretty certain that's the same description that the chest piece that we got also has. Kind Kinda tempted to cap off just in case. Well, perfect timing. Oh, it's like a little dude whose face is a cannon. Alright, this is a bit tricky. I'm somewhat fearful that it wants us to run in there and get hit by other ones on the side, but I think we have to take the risk. I'll treasure over here. There we go. So we're able to do crit hits. I do wonder if you can kind of like get his mouth as a weapon. Because we know that there are cannon weapons. Ancient Dragon Knight's Cookbook. A record of crafting techniques of the ancient dragon knight who followed Godwin's golden knights into the realm of shadow. Acquire the knowledge to create the following red lightning pot. Ooh, red lightning. Also, so the implication there is that Godwin went into the realm of shadows at some point. I do kind of wonder what the... I mean, the realm of shadows seems to be a place where death ultimately drifts. Which I guess kind of makes sense that Godwin would have gone there at some point. The big thing I wonder about, and kind of worry about... Okay, so it looks like we can safely get on top of it. There. Alright, drink. And then boom! Alright, not resin, yellow fulgur bloom. Check for secrets. I go write it down, go back up. Okay, I think this is another wizard man. Yep. Alright, no statues to the left or right. Ooh, he dropped something. Oh, okay, grave. No, Ghost Skull of Work 4. Kinda hoping that he would drop some armor to get some lore on him. Good old shackle check. Which I do wonder how many traps I'm triggering by shackle checking. Ah, okay. Yeah, this is basically where the one wizard man that we saw earlier was standing. Ooh. Oh. Oh. I didn't think there would randomly be, Knights of Mesmer here. It's like, whoop. Might as well take advantage. Can't really tell what looking at over there. Okay. Big ol' Nightman. Yeah, it feels like we should play this on the safe side. Wrong one. Alright, so the thing's down 6 times 2. Okay, so that's the room that we started going through originally with the spikes. I wasn't quite certain what type of enemy I was dealing with there, so I was kind of preparing for a worst case situation. Okay. Oh, Great Ghost Glowport. Yeah. Not times 1. There is no category of that because that is the ultimate Ghost Glowport. And, oh yeah, wrong button. Do a quick shackle check here. Mainly because of the window over there. But it seems that the main path forward is where the spikes were previously, but I'm kind of curious. Can we... Like, can we get on top of these here? Ooh, we can. Just looking around for any other, special secrets here. Okay, we're looking mostly good. Alright, so that should be the window. Yep, alright. I feel like ambush. Black Knight Commander Andreas. Ooh. I mean, they seem pretty alright, those, like, big burly knights with the hammer and shield. I don't know they would beat any of the ones we currently have, but we're currently using one of the Omen Killers, which I did not expect to be as good as it is. Okay, uses some of the spirit of Andreas, Knight Commander of the Black Knights. The Black Knights were the primary force of Mesmer's army. Their first leader was Andreas, a man endowed with great strength and command over the powers of the Crucible, and whose spirit in these ashes dwells. Though he remained a devout follower of Mesmer after his flight from the Erd Tree, he would rebel after learning of his liege's serpentine nature. His righteous stand was rewarded with imprisonment in an underground tomb. So Mesmer is a snake similar to Riker? Though Riker wasn't always a snake. So is Mesmer the snake or someone that was devoured by a snake? But alright, we can start heading backwards here. Alright, we haven't gotten too many runes, so in a worst case scenario, we shouldn't lose out on too much. And I'm trying to think, of both spikes we've encountered thus far, we have ridden both of them, I believe. do like how they have extra tall, like, door hallway entrances. Now I think about it. Shackle check in case there's any, like, secret pass that opens up along where it's being slammed. It really does seem like you just need to run forward, potentially. Alright, good. I'm glad I spotted what looked like a potential way to go. I'm just trying to think about going over to grab that. I guess this looks like a dead end anyway. There we go. Alright. Grave Glovewort 4. More yellow Fulgur Bloom. Okay. So it looks like when it bounces, it doesn't touch the ground again. Alright, Dragon Ball Grease. I mean, okay, I guess. Just want to check right here. Alright, not seeing any secrets. Normal elevator. The Stake of Marika makes me believe that might be a boss. Oh, I'm glad I hit around a corner. Then I took away my advantage there. Ooh, we're so low on flasks. There we go. Oh, hello. Little statue men everywhere. Oof. Alright, as much as I don't want to, I think we do need to drink another potion. Okay. Another wizard man. Yeah, so I guess the Stake of Mariko is maybe just... Oh. For, like, the second part of the dungeon? Alright, then take out this little tiny dude. Usually with the lance, it's relatively safe since the sound will aggro anyone not in the immediate vicinity. Okay, Grave Glovewort 2. I thought I'd heard a sound, which is why I shielded up there. And now think about it, I don't think I shackle checked over here, and sometimes these little nooks have additional secrets. Now and then I think I hear something unlocking with the shackles, but I don't think it's always the case. I think it's just the effect of the shackle itself going off. Well, ain't this a thing? But I have additional concerns that when we go in there, the ceiling's gonna come down. So. Alright, cool. Lizard Greatsword. A peculiar weapon carried by imps. Greatsword smithed in the shape of a forked-tongued lizard. Strong attacks allow the wielder to fire the forked tongue from the blade. Ah, so that's what got us at one time. I am somewhat curious. Would this have killed me? Okay, wouldn't have killed. Glass shard. Oh, one of the downsides of my giant lion head here. Yeah, well, as much. We're gonna have to like bum rush the wizard. Yeah, saw that coming. Alright, Stick of Margo. So, like I thought, so it's kind of like a midway point for the dungeon. Which, very deep dungeon, I must say, but that was the case with the jail, too. Man, I still got hit by something there. And I should have foreseen running flashes like that. Alright, where's the other one? There he is. It's like, time to get used to our new toy. Okay, I don't think we had to go after that guy again. There we go. Alright, second one, don't go in all the way. Third one is completely safe. across the way. There we go. Iframe invincibility. I don't know why my attack wasn't going off. It's just like, come on, attack. Oof. Kind of booed losing out on those ruins, but it's not the biggest loss. And I mean, if anything, all of this is also good training, although. Lantern on. One too many. Odd delayed death effect there. Part of me is almost tempted just to blitz through them and let the slam down kill them. Which isn't a bad idea. And props to them for actually catching me there. Uh-oh, wrong one. Looks like we're mostly safe here. Alright, run across. Don't fall down. Or at least not yet. At some point we'll probably want to pillage that, like the other area. There we go. Yeah, okay, so that takes a lot of stamina to do that. There we go. Ooh. Did he drop anything? Hard to tell. Alright, Shadow Realm Ruin 3. Oh. Oh, it's like a inner tiny room. Ugh. Ash of War Blink Bolt. Blink Bolt, skill used by the Golden Knights who serve Godwin. From a low stance, the body is transformed into a bolt of lightning and charges straight ahead at fulgurous speed. Usable on all melee armaments. They'll basically become the Flash, which I am kind of okay with. Yeah, so there is another linking path here. Oh, these are two separate ones. Stone Sheath Sword. A sword that none can pull from its scabbard of cracked stone. Relic of a lost civilization from a time long past. Said to have served a ritual purpose at altars of light and darkness. Skill, Square Off. This skill starts with a sword held level, followed with a normal attack to slash upwards through enemy guard, or a strong attack to perform a running thrust. Interesting. That's what I admit. I love my lion head. But I think, at least for right now, until maybe we get like storm magic or something, because didn't this increase our storm? Yeah, heightens intensity of the storm. Although actually, wait, if we take this off, we can still use our current weapons, right? There is my old bandit mask. Here we go. Alright, I'm not seeing any big X suddenly. Okay. Now, I'm kind of assuming that this is going to link up to the area you could fall down into. Ah. That little... Oh, these new improved imps. Trying to think of a good way to, like, really counter them. Man, I guess we could try magic. You know what? Yeah, let's give magic a go. Man, those like little bit of their flamethrower things definitely kind of linger. Oh, it's so short-ranged. Man, I don't know how this does in a tight jiffy, though. Like, it's flame dudes in close quarters. Actually, it's just multiple of these guys in close quarters. That's a bit of an issue. Yeah, I kind of figured they wouldn't bleed. Yeah, and it like falls down too, even. As much as I want to kind of like not say it, I do get the vibe that, at least for this dungeon, our fisticuffs need to come back out. Oh, nope, not that. Here we go. Because we know that basically so far a lot of the stone imps have always been pretty vulnerable to this. They strike pretty fast. Sometimes it is what it is. Alright, we can get back to where we were. Ah, crap, though. Forgot I still have the, Divine Beast Stomp on. Ouch. Alright, gotta slowly work our way back here. Alright, let it fall. Let him rise. Ride the waves. And try not to fall to my death doing that. I should have just run out into the open area. It's just way too tight of an area to kind of like fight both of them that way. Really do wish I remember to equip the Bloodhound step. Alright, we're just gonna ignore these guys. Yep, hear them right behind me, but that's fine. Alright, fall down. Next one up. Alright, we can do this. One down. Like, just have to look for that opening, and then our attack speed beats it out. Do kind of like his this old man wizard beard. Although it looks like he's also maybe a zombie. Come. Alright, here we go. Yet again, these dungeons are so big. It's like there's still areas above that we need to get back to. I really just gotta beat up the flame one first. The flames have like lingering damage boxes there. If anything, it's kind of all the more reason I want their flames. Like, those are pretty nice. I mean, that's kind of why I like the perfume bottles. It's just these guys being stoned and whatnot. It's like poison doesn't do much. I assume fire wouldn't do much against them. Alright, run past all these little dudes. Okay, stamina back. Alright, so I guess before running to that first one, we gotta turn back and take care of anyone foolish enough to pursue. Or we just start attacking them here and now. Whoa. So are those guys the same guys as the pogo stick guys then? I thought basically the flame ones might be a bit different, but it's like a... Yeah, because like some of these guys aren't using... whatever. Yeah, gotta do your little BS. Gotta say, they're pretty versatile for tiny guys. Alright, drink. Jam in the back. Oh yeah, that was a correct call. Good. Tempted to fall down to see what's down there, but we might be heading there technically anyway, so... I do kind of wonder. What if I do this side? There we go. Ah, dang it. Yeah, I kind of figured I was being a bit too greedy there. Alright, fall back down again. That was definitely greedy, but thankfully not punished. Alright, good. Alright, game plan is just rush in and start wailing on the guy to the left, even though I now have the vibe that both of these guys have flamethrowers. Phew. Alright, Ghost Club Word 5. Okay, not seeing anything. We should definitely turn on Lantern. I don't think there was like any sort of secret there. We still need to take the hole, but kind of okay pressing forward a tiny bit here. Alright, grab. Broken Rune. Another elevator. This is kind of insane. Okay, so boss door at last. Not seeing anything secret there, but we might as well check. Alright. I think we can probably leave it up. Alright. I kind of doubt this thing is going to require fisticuffs of any sort, so let's go ahead, put the poison back on. Guess we can give the poison a shot and get Omen Killer at the ready. Oh. Death Knight. Whoa, okay. Not gonna lie, that was pretty cool. Though I am a sucker for any sort of grab move. And yeah, maybe we shouldn't try poison on an undead? Question mark? That was not what I meant to do. I meant to turn on Lantern, get Omen Killer back to being ready. And let's stick to the old tried and true for now. Yeah, that's an instant kill. Thankfully it telegraphs pretty heavily though. I mean, he gets up in our face enough where I don't think trying to go for range is the answer. Like, we could try the katana, but he doesn't really stun lock easily either. We could try, like, fast magic. Or even basically like Scarlet Ionia when he's busy. Whew! He did not give me much of a chance to do much. That said, he does take damage decently well, so I don't think this is like a we don't belong here fight. Alright. I really wish it would remember the state that the lantern was in when you die. I wonder why he has it dead set to Lightning Spear right away, right now. I'm also trying to think how many ruins that we have right now. We can probably delay the drink. And you know what, just screw it to the lantern, even though it's very dark. Oh, now you're gonna run it. Good Omen Killer. Oh. Alright, that's a new move. I mean, we did infect him. Yeah, I gotta say, DLC's got spice. A lot of these enemies, even the basic dudes, they have like a lot more moves than you would think they would. Well, there goes his 18,000 runes. I thought I was safe behind the pillar, but I should have hugged it tighter. Ooh, the this dungeon has taken a while, but it is another pretty deep dungeon. I've gotten quite a few things out of it, though. Alright, what are you going to do this time, huh? Are you going to do the flash? Alright. Ah, Omen Killer. I thank you. Whoa. Like, right now I'm trying to, like, observe for the most part. Yeah, definitely gotta be careful of that one. But there's a lot I need to be careful of here. If it's like spin, pause, spin, slam. So it's like even if I dodge the first two spins, I gotta be careful of that finishing slam. And that's to say nothing of being close to him when he does his like little lightning twirl. Scarlet Ionia. Thank you for the save, Omen Killer. Oh no, that says twirl, twirl, twirl. Oh, okay. See, I got a bit stun locked in the Scarlet Ionia animation. There's always been a bit of a concern about that spell. We're getting him closer. Oh, boy, can he apply the pressure, though. Yeah, I think the key is still get Omen Killer out to start tanking. Cover. Next priority is to infect him. Okay, good. And then it's like, yeah, like next priority. I didn't do as much as I'd liked. Yeah, maybe after infection we just have to fight the normal way. I wonder if you could double up with Scarlet Rot and Poison. I'd not imagine any reason why you couldn't. Just we've never seen that ourselves. Alright. Full aggro gained. Better at dodging that. We gotta work with teamwork here. There we go. Death Knight's Twin Axes and Crimson Amber Medallion +3. Okay, so boost maximum HP by the utmost. And Golden War Axes of the Death Knights, a pair of weapons made to be wielded in both hands, crackles with lightning, the power of the capital's ancient dragon cult. The knight, once the personal guard of Godwyn, was also the protector of the Prince of Death's Cadaver Surrogate. Cadaver Surrogate. Unique skill, Blink Bolt Twin Axe. From a low stance, the body is transformed into a bolt of lightning and charges straight ahead at vulgar speed. Strong attack performs a lightning charge spinning slash. Interesting. And yeah, so I guess this is a surrogate? And now the question is like one of maybe many? Because there's a one underneath the Godric's castle. Now the other tricky part. So we're checking out the other pass. What's the best way to go about it? I think maybe just going backwards. Like, as much as I want to exit this dungeon and be done with it, the allure of treasure is a bit too tempting. Huh. Although I'm trying to think of some areas. Like, is it possible to get back out even? Because a couple areas we jumped down and dodged the slam down spikes. Alright. Taunt these spikes out. I can put the poison vial back on. I got thrown off by basically the sound of one I thought was the sound of the other. Alright, run. Okay, time to check this out. Thank goodness for our stealth armor. Dang it. No sneaking up, I guess. Ah, crap, I've made a potentially dangerous mistake here. I am carrying around a lot of runes. Alright, Ghost Glove for 4. Oh, so that was on the body. Now where does this connect to? Alright, I don't trust the slime to behave itself. Okay, at least it's weak to fire. Okay, glass shard. There we go. He's not too far away. Though, slightly concerned at getting a bit too close. Ah, crap. Alright, cool. Get the drop on it. Okay, we do have additional slimes up above. Alright. Fry them up. Alright, not seeing any others. Electrocharge. Calls down lightning to charge body with electricity. One of the incantations of the capital's ancient dragon cult calls down lightning to charge the caster's body. While charged, electric shocks will strike the area several times, charging Cretan's potency. The origin of incantations that bolster the body with lightning, and now a lost art in the land betweens. 30 faith, yeah, we can do it. Does sound kind of interesting. Boy, the moment we swap off of Castus, we get all this stuff from just like, ooh, like, enchant ourselves with lightning, with the gloves having the lightning dash, zoom up to our opponent and like do AoE lightning, shocking everywhere. That could be good. At least in my head, that could be good. And in practicality, it's like zoom up close and then get my ass handed to me. Alright, going up. Where will this connect to? I don't... Wait. Aha! Okay, I know where this is. Alright. So let's try to get back over. Right, one down. Which really is the only one we should have to fight right now. Alright, then we get over there. Basically back to the boss room. We can get back to the entrance, and then back to a spot of grace so we can actually spend these runes. And make a few adaptations here to equipment. And I'm still trying to consider, like, weapon arrangement stuff here. I do wonder if it would have been good at all to try and use the katana against the boss. I'll admit it was a bit of cowardice on my part for, like, I kind of wanted the ability to shield, but I mean, when we're going to be using the katana's bonk 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 skill, we're not going to be shielding, so we had to kind of rely on stagger, attack, and like working in a combo. Alright, back inside. I don't think we need to go too deep to find the one other path not taken. Alright, lantern back on. Gotta say though, pretty hefty treasure of lightning goodies from this dungeon. We got a new ash, we got a new weapon, we got 2 new incantation spells. A pretty good haul. And I don't think we have enough to level up though. Yeah. If I was to let something go, maybe Blood Boon? Maybe even Swarm of Flies sometimes. Swarm of Flies, for how good it was against Melania, doesn't seem to be holding its own against other people that much. Yeah, it's like, but which one though? Blood Boon or Swarm of Flies? Let's try swapping Swarm of Flies for right now. Alright, and... where are you, Electric Zappy spell? Like looking for a man being electrocuted. Oh, here we go. And then, Ash of War... Fisticuffs. Does it have... There we go. No, wait, that's Lightning Ram. Here we go. Lightning... Yeah, Blink Bolt. Do you want Lightning, Sacred, or Regular? I think Keen... No, Occult was the one that was better before. I really wish this would do the math a bit better. So... 200, 322. Yeah, so Keen's actually better here. Because this would just be... minus a 5, 300... 305? Yeah, 305 versus... Yes. 323. So yeah, I think that one would be the better choice. I really wish they'd just kind of spelled it out for you rather than having to do the math in the head. But it is what it is. Let's see here. So many good things to use. I don't want to give any of these things up. Especially since poison basically, like, we fought so many stone creatures this time, it's like, there are fleshy things up above that are probably, like, affected by poison. Her war axe is so good, though. I mean, a war spear. Alright, I'll take off the perfume for right now, since it's the closest for swapping back and forth. Oh, wrong one. Although, actually... Alright, first we try out Electrocharge. Uh-oh. So it is pretty passive, all things considered, for damage. I also kind of wonder real quick if... no wait, status? About 40,000 to level up? Like, I should probably get comfortable sitting on this many runes, but I don't like risking it, though. You kind of got to ease yourself into the higher amount of runes here. I say. Yeah, probably 110,000. And 130,000. Alright, that should be enough to level up, I think. Oh, okay, barely short. Well, bust open 1,000's worth of runes, which I think just do that with the rune ones. Alright, level up. Yep, into endurance. Gives us more flexibility for heavier weapons and heavier armor if we so choose. Yeah, that went about as well as I kind of thought that spell might go in practicality. Like, in my head, it's like, oh man, zoom punch. I'm like, I know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna zoom over to my death that much faster. Though, for someone not actively attacking as they move, it still could be pretty good. Yeah, stop that. Is he wandering into the smack zone? Oh, it worked. Yeah, I saw that. I do wonder if they would drop their flamethrower weapon for the ones that do have the flamethrower instead of the serpent sword. I kind of doubt I can, like... Yeah, okay. But, like, it could be used for navigation. Oof. Ouch. I forgot all about the cannon ones. Trying to think. Spot of Grace is before the elevator? No, after the elevator. That's good. Alright. I think... Back to testing out the poison. Yeah, because it is kind of nice that it smacks him out of the pogo stick. Just a pity they can't get poisoned, though. It's like that's kind of the entire appeal of poisoning. Ouch. Can't tell if it's getting... There we go. Pretty good on stamina consumption for the, like, basic melee. Alright, gonna cap off to be a bit careful here. go. Alright. Just the cannoneer ahead of us. If only it could, like, recoil itself. But okay, cool. And slam down. There we go. Combo in the corner. It's like not that much damage, but against a biological, the poison combined with potentially, not really stun locking per se, but like hitting, like should be pretty good. And so I assume this goes up to where the cannon guy was, which gotta be careful about that. Guess I don't really need to duck for that. Dang. Was still holding out hope that he would drop his head as a weapon. But okay. So not really much here, so really just a way to get back up. Trying to recall. This... Oh yeah, that was basically secret side thing. Okay. We should be good to finally exit this place. Free from this really, in hindsight, kind of strange dungeon, because it's like, the main threat were the stone imps, but then there was like random mesmer soldiers who were also ex-followers of Godwin, and everyone was part of the part of the dragon cult with the lightning. Definitely strange, but glad to be done. Alright, let's head back above. Now that we're an hour and a half into the video. Like, one of those things of technically had time, but gonna try and milk this a bit more because an entire video for a single dungeon. Like, we can do better than that. Now, the main thing we should try and do is figure out what is up with this place. Because the last time we were here, it was chock full of vulgar militiamen. Oh, hello, bear. Alright, you're not gonna be cool? Now the question is this entire valley, like, a dead end with the dungeon at the end? I really thought there'd be a way out. Yeah, it looks like it's this completely closed off little valley here. I mean, as the dungeon was called, it's just like kind of filled with fog, but still didn't think it was this narrow of a place. I thought it kind of branched out a bit more. Although maybe from here? Not really. Yeah, this entire thing is just like a sunken, foggy valley. Interesting. I mean, last time we did kind of run through here because we were running through all of Mesmer's soldiers. Which it looks like, I guess, that the way to actually get to the west ouch, is through the castle and then across the bridge. Oh, actually, treasure over there. Civic's doing 3. Dang. I was kind of hoping that it would inflict poison on him, but I think the light attacks might take a while to apply poison. Come on, succumb to the poison. Oh, okay. I somehow didn't see all those explosive barrels there before last time. Alright, red flesh mushroom. Kind of want to, see if I can't detonate those barrels. Oh. Like, so close. Oh, well. I don't think it's gonna work out. Like, making sure we... Oop, hello. Yeah, that makes sense that they would be stationed up there. But I just proceeded to poison myself again there. Okay, good. The poison is interesting. I like how it kind of staggers him a bit, but it is... I don't know how practical it would be in the end. Alright, let's try to go kind of around this way this time. I do kind of wonder if truly the only way... Yeah, I think... Yeah, the only way is basically probably through these bridges. Although, did the bridges actually go through the entire valley? Because on the overworld maps, it looks like they don't. Yeah, because that one doesn't. And the other one... I mean, it connects over to stone, but it doesn't seem to connect over to, like... Unless there's a tunnel there, it doesn't go through the mountain. There we go. Give me that ruin. Oh, and then back in combat. Alright. Once they're out of combat here, take another look at the map. And we're just check out the fortification. Yeah, so I guess there's not really much up there except the dungeon. Yeah, let's try to check out this place here. Kind of want to save storming this potential castle for like its own video, so kind of want to focus on like the side things for right now. Nah, probably. In my head, I'm like, what if I put the lightning speed on the Great Katana? I mean, I like the bonk, 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 but I think like the regular attack, like the first one is kind of like singular bonk as well. But might just be imagining that. Okay, yeah, I definitely didn't take the proper off-ramp. And I can't really confirm with the map, but yeah, like, where that dot is not where we are. Though in hindsight, now that it's daytime, yeah, the barricades are here, but I don't see any war tents around this part. Yes, I should just be all down there. Alright. Let's give the old katana a go. Okay, good. I do like the weapon, but it eats up stamina, so I need to be very careful while going all in. Because that's happened that one time, basically, with the little stone dudes. Alright. They're fighting blood beasts. There we go. And almost out of stamina. There we go. Trying to see if I could do the Sekiro thing of like jump in the air and start doing it. And only kinda, but I think... Yes, okay, so it did actually do it. Between the Blood Beasts and the Knights, I think the Blood Beasts have it. Although I don't think the Blood Beasts can kind of grab them and start stabbing them on the ground like they were able to do it against me. I should probably just ride on through. Aw. Another dungeon, mayhaps? The Ruined Forge Lava Intake. 51,000. Alright, not much we can do with that amount. Might as well top off on any flash stuff we have here. I keep wondering if I want to swap any like weapons or whatnot around. I like the Poison Perfume Bottle, but I wish it was faster. I'm of two minds of it. Like, on one hand, it seems pretty good for like some of the small fries, but we don't really need something that's really good for them. I guess in theory, for like tiny swarms, it could be maybe really good if they do like kind of the charge swirl. Oh, actually, what I should do with my current amount. Okay. Yeah, kind of like what I thought. Real quick, what I want to try doing with our current runes. Back to the Table of Lost Grace. Going to see if we can't upgrade the tiny Yoda dude. Because we have basically a fair chunk of runes to at least buy the ingredients to upgrade them. Alright, purchase. Alright. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, cool. And then we should be able to kind of throw at least one level at him. That's kind of the nice thing of having full access to nearly the full spectrum of upgrade materials for the special summons.
Are you here for spirit tuning?
Though I did get an achievement, though, that showed that I did get all the ones in the base game, though, so... There we go. Back to the Realm of Shadow. The name of like Ruin Forge Lava. I do wonder. Now, probably all the bell bearings are in the base game, right? Like, I can't really imagine what bell bearings there would be from the DLC. By grace, if I see another rock, I shall find it. Of this I have no doubt. The altar of the forge cannot be far. I do kind of like how so far between the Everjail and this one, the dungeons in the DLC love chains, and you know what? I love chains too. Hit them where they're weakest. I mean, in theory, isn't that what one? Ah, I see. Oh. Why'd it have to be more stone? Had that coming. Well, more smithing stones. I have a hard time judging that Winter Strike. I'm a bit curious. Oof. Yeah, I think I need the old gauntlets out again. You know, I may have made a slight error of judgment here. Good sir, I need you to get back in the room with all the ability to maneuver. On hindsight. Alright, Synthetic Stone 4. 5. Gas Stone, interesting. Yeah. I mean, probably going back to the Bloodhound Quickstep is for the best for the gloves. Alright. Dunk. Ash of War. Alright, where are you? Yeah, Rapture the Mist. You're at Bloodhound Step. And then we know Occult was our best one previously. In hindsight. Bust out the calculator real quick. Alright. 188 plus 128. So 316 versus... Boy. Okay. 316. Dang it. Alright, I made a misjudgment. I don't think that's 500 something. Oh boy. Okay, so actually Keen is better. 322 versus 316. I'm a bit surprised. I thought basically Occult was the better one. I'm trying to think like if the stats change at all, but alright, that's fine. Ouch, got a bit greedy. Yeah, it's like stuff like this, which is why I really wish I had like a hammer or something. But all the hammers are pretty heavy strength. Okay, we have them on the ropes. Alright, Somber Smithing Stone 6. And only used one flask, but I do feel like we need to do a bit better than that. Alright. Something tells me that lava slimes are not probably going to care about fire spells. Oh, alright. It's more susceptible to melee damage than I thought it would be. Definitely keep an eye up above, though. Alright, not seeing another golem. Alright, Smithing Stone 2 and 3. 2. There are plenty of smithing stones in this area. 1. 3. Alright, down over here. Lantern on. Making sure we're not dealing with multiple golems at once. Alright, back to the fisticuffs. Oh. It's like stairway or a ladder? Oh. I forgot there was a slime hanging there. Dang it. Thought it would go for the hit, but it didn't crit. There we go. I wonder if, like, the Crystallians of these guys get weaker the more you, like, crit hit them. Ouch. They certainly hit like a ton of bricks. Alright, so the next down 6 times 2. Alright, Somber Smithing Stone 2. I'm just gonna have to stop saying which ones I get because this place is just chock full of smithing stones. Which, no complaint here. Yep, like I thought, another golem. It's like having to swap between my two different weapons. Gotta make sure no slime's gonna ambush. There we go. It's like if I can't crit them out the gate, just gotta force the issue a bit. It's like the game is being like, don't give up on the Castus, they're a great weapon. In the moment I'm like, alright, back on the roster, my fist. It's gonna be like, only large, non-stone enemies anymore. Alright, Somber Smithing Stone 6. So many stones. And it makes sense, given this entire place is like one giant forge. I do like how unique the DLC dungeons are. Which makes sense, DLC dungeons and all, but... I mean, we went from like an icy jail to a hellish forge. I mean... The other one was just, I guess that works. A normal tomb, but it's a pretty deep tomb though. Huh. I kind of doubt I can sneak up on him. Next step. Yeah, I'm not even gonna try and counter that given. Ouch. I have a hard time timing it. Alright, watch the stamina. There we go. 7 for... Ooh, Smith Script Dagger. Dagger engraved with the Smith Script. Reduced mass enhance the effects of the smithing arts, allowing this weapon to function as a throwing dagger for all attacks. Oh! Once thrown, the dagger instantly reappears in the wielder's hand, incompatible with Ashes of War that grants skill with an affinity. Skill, piercing throw, and I'm noticing it's not unique skill, regular skill. Throw armament with a powerful spin, causing it to bore through foes. When using the skill, the armament can be thrown further than normal and also pierce through enemies. I really like the sound of that, not gonna lie. Like, that sounds like we could be free of the pike, quite honestly. Just want to see what it's like, and also make sure that we can actually use it. Okay, these are swords. Here we go. Yeah, it's its own category. Throwing blade. Oh, when you do wield it, it's 2 of them. Ha 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 ha, that is cool. think about that. I mean, I even kind of mentioned in some of the earlier parts of the game being like, man, you know, wonder there's like a build for like throwing daggers, because, you know, when you first pick up the throwing daggers, you're like, oh, new weapon? It's like, oh, no, just, you know, it's a thrown object, which makes sense. But it seems like in the DLC, they're like, you know, similar to the perfume, it's like, nah, it's a weapon now. You can just straight up use it as a weapon. Huh. Where do I... Ah, here we go. Ah, and a ladder. Okay, so that is official. I was like, you know, drop down to be a one-way trip, and if I was wrong, then it would not be a very good trip either. Alright, so the next down 2. Bad memory seeing a giant lake of lava. This can't be everything. But the question is, does this lava exist for people who need to come back from the lava? Like if you fell down and kind of like marched your way through? And that's where we came from up there. Now obviously there's something there with a ladder. Aha, here we go. And didn't explore this thing, so next doing 3. Great Potentate's Cookbook 13 gives us access to the hefty volcano pot. Also noticing, like, kind of unique music here. Quite frankly, it kind of gives me, like, HD... Whoop, hello. Remaster vibes of the Fire Temple from Ocarina of Time. Alright, Smithing Stone 3. Smithing Stone 7. One. Okay, so I can actually break these, like, pots full of burning embers. Ooh. Smithing Stone 4. Alright, gotta safely... Well, hold on. There's not like an additional secret over here, right? No, okay. Here we go. Fall. Yeah, it's interesting to see all the architecture, and the golems are certainly a unique enemy type. Again, kind of feels very Zelda-ish with it being like, you know, hit the giant's, like, glowing diamond weak spot on their back. It is kind of funny, though, that the game had to, like, spell it out with a little sign at the entrance to the dungeon. Like, just in case you didn't figure it out. Ooh, okay. Alright, glass shard. Now, what will this do? Will it drain the lava? Ah, okay. Like, will it drain the lava when it's like, it's gonna like suck it up? No. The thing I'm kind of curious about, though, is that, like, wouldn't that just go back to the entrance? Ooh, actually, is this even, jumpable? Or do I need to go out into the lava to get onto it? Tiny bit. Ooh, okay, this lava is hotter than the previous lava. making sure. Why am I not surprised? Don't want to follow it to potential accidental death down there. Okay. Also, in hindsight, is it like spewing the lava? It is spewing the lava out up here. Oof. Down to 3 flasks. Examine altar. Anvil hammer and ancient dragon smithing stone. Oh, so no boss even. So I wonder if this is like a new type of dungeon here. One of the treasures of the ruined forges, a tremendous hammer that incorporates as its head the red-hot anvil of the forge. It is said that the anvil's shape is inspired by that of an altar, and that long ago it was indeed used as such in rite and ritual. Unique skill, smithing art spears. Slam the red-hot anvil into the ground, sending up countless spears as it is pulled out. The spears disappear instantly. Yeah, 39 strength to wield, but then it's like if it's dual wielded, it's smaller than that, which I forget the conversion rate on that. Like 1.5, I think. I'm just slightly suspicious because it's like, but no boss. I'm so used to bosses. But this is also pretty small, all things considered. I wonder if there's a way to sort by, like, weapon type for damage, because it's like, I don't know, the Castus is both nice, but its short range definitely hampers it when it comes to us being in need of striking damage. Oh, actually, since we're free of that dungeon, I should have gone up instead of down. Oh well. I'm a bit curious about, go back to the round table. Wrong button. There we go. I say, what smithing stones would it take to upgrade the throwing daggers?
Well, I took you no matter to lay out your own.
Alright, strength and armament. Wait. Okay, so it's regular smithing stones for this. I'm trying to think of how much it would cost to go through all the different things needed, because it's like 12 per level. Okay, 9, 21, 21, 46, 4, 14. Okay. So if we do 3, 8. Okay. That's fully upgradable then, assuming we have the ruins for it. And because it's all smithing stones that we can buy, we're not, like, losing out permanently on anything. I mean, it'll just be costly to, like, you know, if it ends up not being a weapon that we like, but we can kind of give it a whirl.
Back or red, no matter.
Alright. So up to plus 18. Assuming we have the ruins to get that far. There we go. Then I'm a bit curious, even though I only realized walking away, it's like, oh yeah, I can actually just talk to him for Ash of War stuff. So, not necessarily that we would do it, but if we wanted to swap it out, like... Okay, we have some of the good options, like the Thunderbolt. I say good, we haven't actually tried the Thunderbolt. For all I know, it's not that good, but... Like, there's quite a few options available. Wonder what would be the, like, some of the best ones here. Yeah, like, spinning weapon, I wonder how, like, useful as a defensive weapon that kind of is doing that. Double slash, yeah, and then sword dance. I mean, I guess in theory you could, like, pair it up with Bloodhound Step and, like, quick dodge away, continue, like, piling on the range damage. But alright, let's go back to DLC land. Yeah, I want to follow up basically on that little valley path, although I am glancing at the time, see how much time... about at time. Let's try to at least get a spot of grace and a bit of training on the other path, and then we'll call it. And all them doing their things. Dead blood beast. Huh. What is... Ah, yes, I put basically that mark on the obelisk. Good sir, you have volunteered. Alright. Good to know that that body had collision on it. Okay, so not that much there. Okay, there's a bit of stagger on the heavy attack. Oop. Didn't think it would actually catch me there. I do like it. I'm just debating right now basically between Bloodhound Step for kind of that extra getaway to kind of like kite enemies a bit more successfully versus like the damage was pretty good on the spinning dagger, but I'm trying to think like that was me charging it up quite a bit, so I don't know if that's always built in, whether it's cancelable. I do wonder. I mean, also these are like, it's kind of like the perfume bottles where it's like it's a whole new category. Like how many different types are we going to come across? How many different varieties of throwing dagger will be revealed to us here? Okay, cool. We're still dual wielding it. Yeah, I think swapping out the Ash of War on it would be for the best. It does also look pretty cool in motion. Just kind of your classic circus-style knife thrower, which a lot of times in high fantasy is like, you know, they're in the circus, but it's like secretly they're like a double secret agent assassin man or woman. It is a lovely trope. Okay, those are more blood bleeds and not just rocks. They do kind of blend in. Ah, yes, that swamp that our poison friend was overlooking. Let's see. not too much direction on which way to go. Like left or right. Obviously there's a hut way over there. Both of these kind of cut off of the map. Okay, looks like if we do go south, it probably would cut off, so maybe treasure at the end. Oop, rats. Well, that's a weakness of the weapon to keep in mind. Alright, make sure we don't back roll to our death here. I do kind of like it that it's basically dagger with some range. I don't know if ultimately it's better than Spectral Lance in terms of range, but it's kind of nice for mid-range. And I gotta top off just in case. Ooh. Just a corpse randomly in a patch of flowers. Festive Grease. Is there a festive element? Coats armament, granting wielder trace amounts of runes on landing attacks. Oh. Solidified knot grease made from a mixture of bone shards, craftable item, coats armament, imparting a festive incantation that grants the wielder a scant few runes on landing attacks. The effect lasts only for a short time. The Lightfell Festival is an old tradition, one old enough for the Erd Tree to tactically tolerate its endurance. Neato. I mean, that's still death. Although trees down there, it's kind of funny how tall the overall DLC is. It really feels like they took the underground from the main game and just was like, what if it was all out in the open? Everything is just one giant, like, elevation. These both just kind of like wrap around, right? Okay, yeah, they do. Alright, let's go check out that hut and see if this isn't a pathway to new lands or whether this will also terminate. Because I have the vibe that they're probably, like, funneling us towards that castle. Toxic Mossling times 8. Found in poison swamps, mature use for crafting items. Round and plump like a darling infant. That is certainly a description. Oh, that's a pig. I swear, pig, if you try and knock me up... There we go. Target lock finally decided to play along. Oh, that goes into a pretty deep valley. And of course, down in that valley are crabs. Do I want to top off? Probably not needed. Probably. I really should put a healing spell back on the old bar, given how often I end up basically wanting that tiny bit of top off. Great Potentate's Cookbook 7. Gives us access to Hefty Poison Pot. Alright, sheep. Hey, a wind tunnel for once. I think that's the first one we've encountered in the DLC. And why is there a pile of rocks inside it? Well, we can check that out after we check out this suspicious shack here, which hopefully would have a spot of grace in it. No grace. The Elder's Hovel. Talisman of the Dread. Ooh. Raises potency of magma. Talisman depicting the dread dragon of the Jagged Peak, whose roars cause the peak's molten fury to boil and churn. Raises potency of magma. Baal was the foul dragon's name, a terrible harbinger of destruction whose challenge to the ancient dragon lord ended in grievous mutual injury. Cool. Oh, Baal, tyrant Drake, do your wounds yet ache? Is your fury still yet to crest its zenith? Hurry, hurry, and lay it all to waste. Lay waste to the proud, the conceited, every last one of that arrogant lot. Alright. Getting strong vibes. We actually do go to that giant mountain on like Volcano Manor. Very happy to see that. I just keep seeing my health. I'm like, I should top off. Like, don't know what's going to be around the corner. Some giant thing's going to hit me in the face for all but a sliver of my health. But alright, let's test out that wind tunnel. And why does the wind tunnel have rocks? Wait. Somewhere a spirit spring has been unsealed. Oh, these things are spirit springs. Oh, okay. So that's basically like part of that note that we found. Are we like bypassing the castle? I don't necessarily want to do that, but I'm also kind of like, but what if? What if by doing that, you encounter someone that's like, hey, join Mesmer's army, and like, normally people would go through the castle and like kill Mesmer, but maybe like, I can gain allegiance and there's new quests. I could do all this. The Fortress of Reprimand. Okay, so I don't think the Fort of Reprimand is the castle that the castle front is part of. On one hand, does that go anywhere? On the other hand, can I safely get down without dying? Or is this like the one and only entrance now, think about it? An omen killer. Alright, he's targetable, so he's not like a friend. But he hasn't noticed us. Well, the door to this castle's open. Oh. Don't mind if I do. Oh, it's the next day on 8. Like I said before, so I think the true treasure then is on this guy. Because, yeah, I don't see a path how you would get... Well, maybe if you like you jump that gap, if it's doable. But alright, we should probably try and take out the omen killer. I say, glancing at the time. I was going to switch over to the pike, but this is a good test. Okay, so they do have pretty short range. Ah, crap. Yep. I should have stuck to magic. I think historically we do take these guys out with a pike. I was like, what do we do with it, like, against these guys historically? But yeah, thankfully we should still be pretty stealthy. Oh, and there's another spot of grace over there. I don't know why I heard a machinery move, but... Alright, this time... Not going to fall down by accident. Because I'm curious if this big guy can actually use the ladder. I don't think he can. Oh, yes he can. Blessed Bone Shard times 4. Oh, exceedingly rare to find, material used for crafting items. A bone fragment touched by the gold of the skidoo tree, broken from the remains of the warriors who perished in the realm of shadow. A blessing such as this is said to be the greatest honor that can be granted to the dead. Shard of bone with a golden shine, material used for crafting items. That's the other spot of grace. It's like, can we make our way pretty easily there? Yes, we can. Nope, only a broken rune. Alright, another dew gem. So I'm kind of trying to think. So... behind the Fort of Reprimand. Fort of Reprimand, alright. That makes sense. Alright, we are going to wrap it up here. I just want to do one last thing of throwing these daggers at the guys down here to see how daggers do against, like, regular human rank and file. And I gotta be careful with stamina with this weapon. And definitely need to swap out the ashes. And let's see how the Bloodhound step is. Alright, Ash of War. Remove these Ashes of War from Keen Castus. Oh yeah, because they are, like... I forgot that basically they're, there's only so many. Yes. Hold on. I thought these weapons came with a, warning that they don't, like, take to any affix. Incompatible with Ashes of War that grant skills with an affinity. But we can still just straight up apply an affinity? Alright, Bloodhound Step. Yeah, like, does this then apply bleed at range and in, like, quick succession? That'd be pretty powerful, right? Alright, getting stamina back. There we go. Now that's not too shabby. Especially since we know from a fight with Melania that the blood explosion will cause kind of like stagger. That is some neat stuff. And yeah, in general, I'm just liking a lot of the DLC weapons. I'm almost tempted to swap out the Vike's War Spear with basically Great Katana. Admittedly, it's kind of like leaning a lot. I mean, Vike's War Spear is so good, I say, as I remove it. You know, could try a quick, fun last thing here. How long would we last? Like we're near the spot of grace. Oh. Answer, not that long. Though part of that was on the camera lock being that classic thing where the camera lock, you're trying to run away while keeping the camera on them. The camera's like, there's no one over there. We're not gonna lock on any target. Show your back to the enemy. But I could see this also being pretty good for bosses because something kind of keeping them busy at close range, and we take kind of like a more of a medium range like approach. I do wonder if a different element would be better. Like, was frost applicable? Yeah, frost is applicable. The only thing with frost, though, basically, is that it is a magic component. So if we come across a magic enemy, it wouldn't be as effective. But then those that are weak to magic, though, would be very effective. Yeah, we'll keep that as blood for right now. The Bloodsmith. Oh, plus 17. Did I not upgrade this all the way to 18? Yeah, I should probably do that right now before I forget. Part of me is just like, I don't need to do that, but we'll go ahead basically and end of the round table. And I guess in hindsight, while we're here, we could restock smithing stones for the next weapon to come along.
Well, I took you for dead no matter. Lay out your arms then.
Alright, strengthen. Here we go. Ah, yes, I forgot that we had them in our offhand. So in theory, the other nice thing is that we can have like a regular weapon in our primary hand and kind of like still apply bleed or whatnot, like when, I guess not running away, but like, you know, a type of running away. Alright, let's see. Stock up on 12 of 1, 3 of 2, 3 of 3, 12 of 5. As many as we can for that one. There we go. And yeah, next time, basically, we'll try tackling that fortress and then seeing a bit around the area. But I do get the vibe that we're supposed to go from the castle front to this actual castle. So that's kind of on the rough short list for next time. I do want to kind of go back this way, past Egon, to see exactly if we can figure out why he's screaming in absolute terror. Bit of a shame that we weren't able to find a obelisk over this way. Obviously there's one up there, but that's pretty far away from the Fort of Reprimand. And then obviously the Fort of Reprimand should have something pretty cool in it. In theory, you'd think. But yeah, let's go ahead and call it here for today, and yeah. Gotta say, I'm enjoying the DLC. The DLC had a lot of expectations to live up to, and I would say that they're being met. Like unique dungeons, and those dungeons are chock full of really good rewards. The enemies are unique, you know, the golem, whatnot. I'm trying to think if we've encountered any. I mean, I guess the Death Knight was a pretty cool boss. And the dancing line. I do love the dancing line. I'm sad to not have my dancing line mask on, but actually, I was gonna say something about basically how much we drink flask, but in saying that, yeah, we should probably put a heal spell back on. Especially since our... Yeah, heal's a small amount. Since our FP restores over time slowly, so, you know, we don't even got to do heal over time. That said, I don't know, we need like 55 FP used on these. Blessing of the Earth Ray is 60 though. Wish I could get a vibe for how much it costs here. I guess equivalent wise, let's see. 48 for Scarlet Ionia, and Scarlet Ionia actually doesn't seem to actually impact our FP that much. So you know what, we probably could either go with Great Heal or Lord's Heal. So yeah, we'll slap Lord's Heal on. I do feel at some point Blood Boon is probably going to get removed. Unendurable Frenzy has been very good in some scenarios, but not all of them, and that's kind of very similar to Pest Threads. So I do wonder if maybe that should get swapped out at some point. But nothing's a super strong candidate. So, I mean, physical damage, not too bad. I just do wish I would know like how long the buff would last. But yeah, that's all just me pontificating and wondering and what have you. Well, I just thought, like, what if? Could I kind of want to try something, like, just see the most minor of things here. Alright, Flank's War Spear. Are we able to apply Black Flame to the throwing daggers? Because that'd be pretty powerful, you can actually apply it from range. Ah, wait. We would need a catalyst on the left hand. Oh yeah, and then we have to be in an area that combat's doable. Okay, so it appears not to be, although I wonder if that's because it's a blood version of it. I'm kind of guessing no. In fact, if we look at the Forge Blade... Okay, it doesn't have built-in fire, despite it's like a bit of a fiery appearance. But just wanted to check that, because rapid application of Black Flame... It'd be pretty powerful. Like, almost to a degree where it'd be like, depending on how powerful it would be, it'd be like, maybe we don't do that. But alright, gotta go through the full thing here. Alright. That back to there. And then... Okay, where's our War Spears at here? There we go. And oh, Castus. I simultaneously like the Castus until I don't, until I do, until I don't, until I do. Such short range. But neither here nor there. I've already basically mentioned what we're going to tackle next time, in terms of basically the castle, the current fort we're at, and try to check past Igor, or Ivan, or whatever his name was. And then, yeah, that'll be basically on the agenda next time, and until then, later.